Hey, TFC family. You know, dealing with the challenging circumstances of life with COVID 19 is difficult enough for our families and our communities. It sure doesn't help day after day to watch our political leaders on both the left and the right go for each other's throats every time they seem to step in front of a camera. They would do well to heed the Apostle Paul's exhortation in Galatians 5. If you bite and devour one another, take care that you're not consumed by one another. You know, it's important for us to remember that neither Paul nor Jesus, for that matter, can be aligned with the ideologies of the Republican or the Democratic parties. But such an observation does not in any way suggest that the life and teachings of Jesus are any less political when embodied in a people. As we listened to Scripture in 1 Peter last week and continue listening this week, it seems quite clear that the Christian community is called to display a different kind of body politic than those on display in the world. I mean, think about it. Why else would Peter call Christians throughout his letter resident aliens and sojourners in this world? Well, some erroneously think Peter is contrasting life now with our future life in heaven. But what Peter is actually doing throughout his letter is contrasting the redeemed behavior of Christians now with the unredeemed behavior of non-Christians. Just as folks on the right and folks on the left have their own vision for how we are to organize life in this world, Peter shows us in chapters 2 and 3 of his letter that the church is called to proclaim and embody God's vision for civic and family life. To say the very least, God's vision, when lived out in the lives of his people, looks very different than the kind of going for the throat or us versus them politics on display during this COVID-19 crisis. In these challenging days, instead of a bleeding red or blue politically, what if we, as God's people, were to faithfully walk in the footsteps of the one whose bloody wounds have healed us from such destructive politics and embody his redemptive body politic in these days? Well, only then will we be the church, distinct from the politic of strife, moving towards a politic of love and life. You want to learn more about this redeemed politic that stems from the gospel? Well, join us this week as we listen to Scripture together in 1 Peter 3, 1 through 22.